If you don't deal with it now, you might still have some of this.
Dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBBP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romai to introduce today's program.
There's nothing better than fresh bread. Would you agree with that? Yeah. On the Best of Beaver County today, we are talking with Kate Clemons. Kate is a new business in Beaver County. It's called the Brown Bear Bread Company, right? Brown Bear Bread Company. It's located in New Brighton. They just moved in last year, 2024, around July, opened up in September, and here we are at the middle part of January 2025. Kate Clemons, welcome to Beaver County.
Thank you so much.
It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. It's really great to be here.
Have we lived up to the hype?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Well, what's the hype? You know,
The hype in Beaver County. Somebody had to lure you in here.
That's true. That's very true. Yes, it has been a very welcoming and positive experience so far. People have really just embraced having a bakery around again, and it's wonderful to be that bakery.
Yes. Bakeries, when I was growing up, every town had at least one. Right? And New Brighton had one. I remember they had one up on top of the hill. But then all these big box stores came in and they started baking their own bread. And people said, well, we can get it there for 99 cents a loaf. Why not go there?
Right, exactly. And I kind of feel that, with the way prices are in the grocery store these days, I find that more people are drawn to us and our product because of the fact that we use whole real ingredients and they're willing to pay maybe a little bit more for quality. But if you compare the prices of grocery store bread to our prices, I don't think you're going to be upset.
Yeah, not at all. And can you pipe the smell outside of the store? Because I remember, a couple blocks from the local bakery and you could smell.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say I have had customers tell me that when they come out of Foodland, which is just next door, that they can, in the summertime, they can smell us baking. And sometimes I'll get people lured in from the parking lot. That I can see that they're following their nose.
And eating the stuff before they get back to the car.
Right, exactly.
Or say, no, don't put it back. I'm going to eat it in the car.
Exactly. Just give that to me on a napkin.
So what is the history of the Brown Bear Bread Company?
I know. See, I did those B's just to mess everybody up, huh?
I used to speak for a living.
Okay, good. Well, you're doing great. We started this business, my partner and I, my partner Dan, he and I have been together for almost 6 years, and he's a former chef turned baker. He likes to say he's a retired chef turned baker. And we started doing stuff out of our house. And I started doing the social media and the people stuff. And it became something that people wanted. We had some repeat customers, just family and friends. And, started to think maybe we have something here.
Damn, that's good bread.
Yeah, kind of, right? And if you look at our logo, it is dog ears. And that's because it is named after our dog.
Oh,
yes.
Your dog's name is Bear?
No. His name is Luke, but you know how dogs have 1,000 nicknames,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
So he's a little brown bear, and that's kind of what we've always called him.
Okay.
And so we used to dream in our old apartment, like, oh, Brown Bear Bakery, Brown Bear Bread, like, wouldn't that be fun someday? Ha ha. And here we are. Yeah. So sometime around 2022, I think, Kaylee Carini joined our team. She is a professionally trained pastry chef. She's worked in she's worked in lots of different high-end restaurants around Pittsburgh, but also in the DC and like New England area. She's incredibly knowledgeable and very talented. And so when she joined our forces, I don't know, she kind of helped make us believe that we could really do this. And that's how we started.
Now, between Pittsburgh and Beaver County, there are a lot of communities in between. You could have chosen any of those communities.
That's true.
How did you arrive in New Brighton?
So Kaylee has lived here in New Brighton for several years now. And I say here, we're not in New Brighton, but you know what I mean. And there was this space that came open. Her husband, Joe, is also involved in the business. Like he helps out a lot. And we always joke that Joe has never met a stranger in his life, which is true.
Okay. He likes to talk.
Yes.
He's a people person.
Yes. As am I. So I don't know how it happened, but he started talking to the owners of the building, who are the Fishers, and they own the Foodland as well, and telling them about our business. And they said, hey, we've got a spot open. Do you want to check it out? And he's like, why not? So he goes to check it out and tells us all about it. And then we all decide to go and have a showing with the realtor. And while we were there, it just became very obvious that that was a
Yeah.
perfect spot for us. We really didn't see many other places, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that was one of the only places that we had a showing at, and it just felt so right.
And you bake the bread right there.
Yeah, everything is, all of our production and retail business is all right in that one space. It's about 2,000 square feet, all one room, and it's awesome.
And for people from Beaver County who know the old Economy supermarket there, the Foodland supermarket,
Yes,
that's quite a transformation that the Fisher brothers have done. After their grocery store moved, they built a whole new building across the street, and then they redid that, repurposed that old building, and it's become remarkable.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I have as a tenant, I have absolutely no complaints. The building is pretty much, built out brand new. It was built out for us to our specifications as well, and I am just really, really happy with it. They did a great job.
Now, your husband was a chef, or your partner is a
Yes,
chef,
uh-huh.
and your other partner is a pastry person. You're the brains behind the organization.
I would not say that. I would say I'm the mouth of the organization.
Okay.
So yeah, I like to say that I do all the people stuff. I love doing the people stuff. I do the social media as well. And so I'm happy to be the one to go out and spread the good word of Brown Bear.
And I told you when we first met, I went on your website, and it's just gorgeous.
Thank
it's
you.
so appealing to the eye,
thank you.
and everything looks delicious. So
Thanks.
you're selling the product by people just seeing it.
Yeah, I think so. I basically use social media as like the main way to talk to our fans. I don't know if you would call them fans. I'm not sure. Customers.
Yeah.
And so I'm on there all the time posting a lot of stuff, and I hear a lot like, "Oh, I came in because I saw that picture." So the free marketing tools do work.
Yeah, very good. And have you seen your business grow since last September?
Yes. Yes, I would say so. It's very different from, what we had done in the past. And I think that it's a much better pace for us, a much more sustainable atmosphere for us. And it feels like here we have the freedom to do what we really want to do and take the time to really build the business the way that we want to build it. And it's really nice.
Yeah. And obviously you wanted to grow even more. So what are some of the ideas that you kick around, besides being on this great radio station, to get people's attention?
Well, there are some ideas kicking around up here, I will say, and with my other partners as well. I think that, it's possible more interactive things are going to be coming in the future. I'm not going to give away too much because I'm not ready to, but, we also do, hot food, brunch and lunch on the weekends. I don't know.
Meatballs in a tray or something like that.
Meatballs. Yeah, that's right. They've been very popular. So we're trying to, bring more people in with that as well. I think that here in Beaver County, people don't realize, that Dan used to be a chef, or that Kaylee also is a really great chef in the kitchen as well. And I am excited for people to start trying our food as well. It's really great.
Right. I don't deny it. Now, in front of you here are some of your product.
That's right.
What do you have here?
So I brought some of the, I would say, best sellers today, just stuff that you guys can try.
Well, let me just pause for a second here and let the people know. If you're not watching this on Facebook Live, you're missing it, right? You're only hearing it. And she'll describe it perfectly for you, but you have to see it. Okay. Go to Facebook Live.
So I brought a loaf of sourdough, and this is like, just our plain regular sourdough. We have, should I hold it up for Facebook?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry about the noise of the bag.
No, that's all right. We can smell it. They can't smell it. It's not smell-o-vision.
No. And we have a sourdough starter. His name is Phil. He's probably almost 5 at this point, or 5 years old.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody who has a sourdough starter will understand.
Okay.
That first of all, we named him, and second of all, we celebrate that he's 5 years old. It's a big deal.
Yes.
We've heard great things about our sourdough, that it's actually sour, that it is good on people's digestive systems. I hear anecdotally from customers all the time about how they have trouble with other breads and other carbs.
Okay.
But our sourdough is great on their stomachs, and it is true. It's much better for your gut and your microbiome. So
well, it's interesting because if you grew up in Western Pennsylvania in the wintertime when it snowed, You used to get the bread at the grocery store, and you put the bread wrappers inside your boots.
Yeah.
And that would help keep your feet dry and
Theoretically,
warm.
you could still do that. I mean,
but and not taking anything away from that bread, but they put a lot of other things in that.
Right.
You know, white bread and you know, this kind of stuff that probably by today's standards isn't good for you.
Right. Exactly. A lot of preservatives and a lot of things that we don't really believe need to be in the bread. Bread should be simple. It is very simple, but it's a beautiful art form, and we want to honor that by, you know, just calling attention to the simple bread. So we don't use any preservatives in our products. We don't use any additives, and our flour is always unbleached. So it's not necessarily certified, you know, natural or organic or anything like that. Although that would be really wonderful someday. But
Kate, I saw you on your website, and you just started talking about it a bit here. We strive to be your go-to place to curb your carb cravings with a conscience.
wow.
Because we do, I
wrote
for one, do crave carbs.
Yes,
you
we
know.
all do. Yeah. Of course. But, you know, with a conscience, meaning like, you know who made it, you know how they made it, and if you want to know more, you can always ask. You know, we use King Arthur flour. Like, we're very transparent about what we use and what we do, and
What's
you
the
can feel good
difference
about
between
it.
that and what you say? We never use bleached flour.
Bleached flour is, you know, I'm sure that Dan could speak more on this, but it's kind of, in our eyes, unnecessary. And a lot of people are not, you know, interested in that. And like I said before, when we're just really trying to focus on the simplicity of the bread and the real ingredients. And so that's important.
Do you have any Christmas cookies left over?
No way. Well, I got sidetracked. I apologize,
go
but
ahead.
I also
That's all
brought our sourdough English muffins. They
They look big.
They are big. They are nice and fluffy. Everybody at home can see.
Butter would just melt right down in them.
Exactly. These are the same sourdough that, you know, our same starter. They're really, really popular. They're unlike anything you've ever had. So if you're like, oh, I've had an English muffin, I know what an English muffin is. You don't,
Yeah.
and you should try these.
And the cookies.
Yes,
the
I also
brownies that you
brought a
have.
brownie. This is a sea salt brownie. Kaylee makes
Sea salt
yeah,
brownie.
yeah.
Oh, my
Kaylee
gosh.
makes wonderful brownies, like decadent and so delicious, amongst other things. And then I also brought just some chocolate chip cookies because
That's
you can't go
all-time
wrong.
favorite.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
classic.
Yeah.
It's a
And-
classic.
And that's just a small portion
Yes.
of what you make over there.
It
If
sure
you go
is.
to their website, you'll see artisan bread and sourdough English muffins, pumpkin sourdough, country sourdough, multi-grain sourdough. Sourdough is a big seller.
Yeah, it is. Mhm.
Okay. Italian, Nana's cinnamon bread?
Yes, that's correct.
What
Yep.
is Nana's?
So,
Old family recipe?
Yeah, kind of. I call my grandmother Nana, and every year she taught me a lot about baking. We used to bake together a lot, and every year for Christmas she makes everyone in the family a loaf of cinnamon swirl bread. Yeah, and it's very sweet, and everybody expects it.
Her name's not Sarah, is it?
No. And so I kind of wanted to honor her a little bit with that tradition. So Dan made up his own recipe, so it is a little different than hers, but it's popular, and we use it in store as our French toast, the bread that we use for French toast.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so if you've had our French toast, I've heard that's also
Is there
life-changing.
a place to sit down in your
No,
place?
so
Okay.
there is not. It's all counter service takeout only. We do have a great relationship, and I want to shout them out, with Bullseye Brewing Company. They're just across the street.
Sure.
They are wonderful people, great owners, great small business, and they are welcoming to people to bring our
Come over
food.
across the
Yeah,
street,
exactly,
yeah.
right. So we have like a nice relationship. We share social media posts with each other, and I always print out menus for the weekend and bring them over so people can call and order or walk over, and it's a really nice partnership.
Very good.
Yeah.
Kate Clemons is our guest. She played saxophone in the Bruce Springsteen band for. Oh no, that's Clarence, isn't it?
Yes.
The Brown Bear Bread Company is a new business in New Brighton, and we're going to talk more about it after we munch some of this stuff and take a little break. Right back on the Best of Beaver County.
Oh my goodness, ain't
On the St. Barnabas Radio Network, I'm Mike Romai, and our guest is Kate Hudson. Kate Hudson. I said that I called you Clarence Clemons, now I call you Kate Hudson.
I mean, I'll take it.
Well, you're a star in your own right here.
I guess.
Kate Clemons is one of the owners of Brown Bear Bread Company in New Brighton, and I just went through maybe 6 kinds of breads, artisan breads that you have, but you also have stuffing cubes, breadcrumbs. You know, I come from an Italian family, and we used to sit there and pick bread and make cubes out. You know
Exactly. Yeah, we do it too. Another thing, you mentioned that you can curb your carb cravings with a conscience.
Yes.
Is that what I wrote on the website?
That's what you said.
Wow, that's wild. But the with a conscience part also comes with the fact that we really try to eliminate waste in any way possible. So anything that is left over, we try to turn it into other things to eliminate waste as much as possible, to be environmentally conscious as much as possible, and we also donate any leftovers as much as we can. Yeah.
Most of the bakeries that I've ever seen, they always have a day-old shelf.
Oh, yeah, we have a day-old shelf, too, yeah. Yeah, and I can't always guarantee that there will be day-old bread. Sometimes there just simply isn't, because we sell out, which is nice. But yeah, you can always come and check. There's usually a sign.
So there's no real reason to go to the Strip District and buy scones or biscotti.
No, you can do that all right here in New Brighton. Yeah, we do. Yeah, Kaylee just made some so we provide bread and pastries to many different businesses around the area and in Pittsburgh. And one of those businesses is Promise Blend Coffee Shop, which is in New Brighton. And they use our pastries, and they started buying biscotti from us. So we'll have biscotti now as well.
What was your dream? Because you said your partners have done different things.
Yeah.
And your background is in classical
music, yeah, it is, yeah. So what was my dream, or
have you ever performed at the Benedum or Heinz Hall? Or
no, nothing
places?
Here in Pittsburgh per se. I had a church job for a while, singing at a church downtown, but the business took off in a way that I couldn't take Sundays off anymore,
Yeah.
Because
you open on Sundays too?
Yes, we are. Yeah. Sundays are usually a big day, especially
after Mass.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Everybody's got to come and get their treat for the day, whatever. And we also do takeout food on Sundays as well. Okay. So I haven't performed any really in Pittsburgh per se.
But you sing opera.
Yeah. That's what my degree is in. I have 2 degrees in that. And it was a great time. I loved I loved singing, and I still do. It's a complicated relationship.
You sing in the kitchen?
Oh, yeah. Dan and Kaylee will attest to that. It's actually a nice acoustic space, I will say. So, if I'm alone, sometimes I'll let it rip, because I know the walls are thick, too, so my neighbors can't hear me.
And the pizza shop's right next to you, isn't it?
Right.
You got a pizza shop, you got a bread shop, you got the state store.
Yep.
And you've got the distributor.
Beer distributor, yeah.
That's
That's a one-stop shop.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's still one spot open in that little strip.
Okay.
So if anybody listening is ready to open
what would be better
a business
than a warm piece of bread and a bowl of chili on a cold day like this?
Right, exactly. Oh. So, if anybody out there's looking, it's a nice space. Great landlords. I can attest to that.
But yeah, bread dipping in whatever, tomatoes, anything.
Exactly. Right? Well, to get back to, what was my dream. So I've always worked in food service, and it just being a singer, it was flexible and, some lucrative and I could take off at a moment's notice if I needed to go to an audition or something like that. So I've always been front of house, waitress, host, that kind of thing. When I was in college, I managed a French bakery in Ithaca, New York. That's where I went to college. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Everything that my boss made was so beautiful, and she cared so much about it. And I care a lot about food too, and it meant a lot to me. And I didn't really think that I would circle back to that. But I find myself having a lot of deja vu lately and thinking back to, oh my God, I used to listen to this same Stevie Wonder CD at that. And I'll hear it in the shop now. And instantly I'm transported back 10 years to managing this little French bakery in a small town. And it just kind of seems like, well, I think this is what I'm supposed to do.
It's amazing what music can do for you, huh?
Yeah, wow.
Music takes you back. The smells take you back.
Yeah.
So you just walk down memory lane.
Yeah, kind of. It's really nice. I just absolutely loved that job, and being able to create stuff with your hands that people appreciate is so special, and it's rare. these days.
Yeah.
And I don't think it needs to be.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not cookie cutter. What you do
Right.
is not, you could go to another store and you can buy sheet cake, or you can buy, you know,
Sure.
and they're going to put the same icing on it. They're going to put the same, you know, basically are not trained professionals back there. They're just using the,
Sure.
you know, and,
Right.
But the difference is where you're paying more attention to the individuals and the
Yeah.
individuals.
Yeah, I would say so. I would definitely say that. And one avenue that we do that in is through custom cakes and custom dessert orders or bread orders and things like that. Kaylee Carini, our pastry chef, has so much experience and is wonderful at making beautiful cakes. So if anyone needs a cake for anything, she can artfully put it together. You can see some of that on our social media pages. If you scroll through and look at some of the custom cakes that are on there, you can see her work. So if anybody, you know, needs a custom cake for a celebration, find us and let us know, because we'll accommodate.
First Holy Communion is coming up. Right,
Right,
like
right,
cake.
exactly.
First, I'm thinking of cakes besides birthdays and anniversaries.
Right.
First Holy Communion is
Right.
always a biggie, huh?
Valentine's Day also
Valentine's
coming up.
Day.
I don't know. Are you proposing and you need a cake to put a ring in?
Or are you trying to make up for something you did?
We'll do that
Send a
too.
cake as well. You talked a couple of times. You mentioned your prepared foods.
Yes.
What all do you? I mean, if I leave this studio here and come over for lunch, what am I going to have an option of?
So you're only going to have an option on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
Yep. So we do our prepared hot foods just on the weekends. And you can always expect a breakfast sandwich. First of all, obviously, everything is on our homemade bread, using our homemade bread, or, you know, we really don't use store-bought much of anything. We make all our own sauces and things like that. So you'll always find a breakfast sandwich as well as stuffed French toast. And then we have rotating items. I apologize. Oops.
That's okay.
We have rotating items. And it's usually just, you know, what do we think is going on this weekend? Is there a Steeler game? There's not a Steeler. Sorry, guys.
no.
That might be too soon
That
for
ship
that.
has sailed.
Yeah, I don't mean to, you know, bring up bad memories.
But there are some playoff games.
Right,
You can
right.
sit
So
in front of.
maybe, you know, you want to watch other football. So, you know, we kind of see what's going on and what we want to make, and we just make it. So last week we had meatballs, and the weekend before as well, and that went really, really well. And I'm going to post the menu probably today, so look out for that on our social media for this weekend. And we're open 10 to 6 both those days.
Okay.
So yeah, we also really try to have like dips and spreads and things. There's a small cooler case in our shop, so we always try to have a little something prepared too that you could take with you if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you already know what you're making for this weekend.
I don't know that
No,
I
not
do
yet.
all the way, but I'm going back to the shop after this. So
What time does your store open in the morning? Well, on weekdays.
on weekdays, so we just recently changed our hours, and Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we're open in the afternoon from 2 to 6. And then on the weekends, we're open 10 to 6. Close Wednesday. That's it.
Okay.
We tend to find that that's when people are going to the grocery store, and
2 to
that's
6?
and that's when people are out and about trying to get their bread and things like that. Hours are always subject to change. You got to figure out what works best, you know. And it's only been about 6 months that we've been there, so
Okay.
yeah.
You said something about breakfast sandwiches.
Yes.
Yeah. So you couldn't get those till 2:00 in the afternoon. Is that what you
Well,
said?
you can only get them on the weekends.
On the weekends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. And you are a small women-owned business.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell me about that and how that comes.
So Kaylee and I, you know, there's 3 owners, 3 operators, and 2 of them happen to be women, myself and Kaylee. And Dan is also, you know,
He's taking a back seat to the women. He's subservient to the women in this case.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I think that we all have a great partnership. We all bring different strengths to the table, and so that makes for like a nice cohesive business. I think we like working together. We're together all the time, and it's so far so good.
What do you do? Can people call the Brown Bear Bread Company and say, I'm having this event, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I want. Can you help them that way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of times people come in and they'll, you know, talk to me about what they're doing, what they need, and we can bounce ideas off of each other. And you can also always go to our website and request more. You can like request a quote, I think, sort of, it's hard to explain. But if you go to the custom order inquiries and press, you know, some of the buttons, it'll prompt you through.
It's a unique operation. Some people will say, yeah, but it's probably pretty costly too. How do you keep costs down?
Oh boy, I don't even know where where to start with that.
Yeah.
We are pretty creative about where we get our ingredients. You have to be, especially these days. In this economy, with eggs being the way that they are, you have to.
Everybody's talking about the price of eggs.
Everybody's talking about the price of eggs, and it deeply affects bakeries because we use a lot of eggs. So it's involved price checking many different places, whereas we maybe only used to just order from one. So we're hustling, we're making it work.
Let me say, you get what you pay for, though.
You get what you pay for,
and that's in clothing, that's in just about anything, a car, whatever, and in the food that you eat.
Yeah, 100%.
So you go in, you say, well, that's going to be a couple of cents more, but is it worth it? Is it something that you're going to get that you can't get anywhere else?
I think so. I just hear all the time how special our bread is, how special our products are. And I think it's just because we care and we use real ingredients and we really care about, what it looks like and what it tastes like and how it's going to be, presented to you. So yeah.
When you go into a bread shop, when we used to go into bakeries all the time, you'd get to bread because the bread was the reason you were going there in the first place. But then you've got these display cases full of goodies.
Yeah.
And talk about your dessert pastries. I know you've mentioned your partner on a number of occasions, and where does her knowledge come from to come up with these dessert pastries?
Yeah, so Kaylee is a trained pastry chef, and I believe she went to Johnson & Wales. If that is wrong, I'm so sorry, but I'm like 99% sure that that's correct. Because I get it confused with Washington and Jefferson, which is here, and that's not correct. Anyway, so yes, she is a trained pastry chef. She's had many different jobs where she was head pastry chef, and she still is now. So she has a ton of experience, and I'm always amazed at her ability to come up with new flavors and new things. Recently, a popular item in our shop has been these breakfast rolls that she made that are like a savory cinnamon roll. So it's a bread roll with bacon, egg, and cheese in it, instead of cinnamon filling and cream cheese frosting. So things like that we're trying to do that are innovative, that are ways for people to get,
And, you don't have locations in 16 different cities, so it's very unique. And
I would say
you
so.
can keep an eye on what's going, what's not going, and what people want, what's the demand out there.
Exactly. And Kaylee's really good at that, too. So she does, like I said, custom cakes are definitely really up there. And if you look at our pages, you can see her artistry.
Well, check them out. In New Brighton, it's called Brown Bear Bread Company. Kate Clemons is one of the owners, and she's here to talk with us. And if you have any questions about it and you don't stop in, give them a call. Go to their website and check it all out.
Yeah, message us on social media. I'm the social media department, so you'll talk to me.
Very good. Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, of course.
It's Kate Clemons, the Brown Bear Bread Company in New Brighton. I'm Mike Romai, and it is the best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas